Welcome to Spill the Tea about weddings with Sheila and Teresa. Hi, I'm Teresa.
Hi, I'm Sheila. Hi, welcome to Spill the Tea with Teresa and Sheila. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Sheila. How are you today?
Doing good, enjoying a little cool weather.
I know, it's so much better than the summer, isn't it, really?
Is.
I loathe the summer in North Carolina.
It's a nice break, put on a little scarf, a little warm jacket, and a warm fire when you get home at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know. You can dress appropriately for the winter, and in the summer you just can't get cold enough.
I agree.
I love it. It's my favorite for running. It's my favorite for riding. And the horses are really fresh and energetic. And I just, I love
my
winter.
favorite for relaxing. So I have a fun topic for today.
Okay, go on then.
So I have a lot of couples next year that are wanting to do formal black tie weddings. So I wanted to talk about, and because we have different views. I'm from several different parts of America, and you have the UK version. So let's talk about what black tie affair and formal affairs really are. So some people think, oh, I'll do black tie, they're going to wear a black suit, and I'm like, well, no, if you say black tie, that is a tux. Do you agree?
I do agree, yes.
And I think some people think, oh, they're going to wear black and white, that makes it a black tie affair. And I'm like, nope, tux is black tie.
Yes.
Not black suit. And for women, that is full-length gown. Do you agree?
I do agree.
Yeah. So I think some people misconstrue that. And
But I would like to just say that for a daytime wedding, it is really weird to me that people wear a full-length gown to a daytime wedding in a barn. I feel that a black tie wedding is more appropriate for an evening wedding.
I 100% agree.
You've got to choose your venue appropriately in order to have a black. I feel really strongly about that. Now, whilst I don't approve of jeans and Stetsons for a wedding either, I feel
A lot of people do.
I know, and I'm just judgmental about it. I feel that if you're going to go for the whole black tie, you really do need to feel you've got to pick your vendors and your venue really appropriately. And, black tie wedding, don't you think needs to be plated service?
Absolutely. That's where I was going to go next. So I tell everyone when they say they want to do it, I think it need to be after 5 o'clock.
Yes.
3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30 is a no for a formal black tie event. And if you're going to be requesting that they rent a tux or buy an evening dress, it definitely needs to be a plated meal.
Yes.
Buffet is not formal and is not black tie.
It is not, no.
And I think people think, oh, I want the black and white look. Great. And if you want to do black tie, great.
And you can
But
do a
you
black
have
and
to
white
set your
look even in the
standard.
summer, can't you? Quite
Right.
happily. You can have all of your guests wearing black and white, and white little sundresses look quite cute, don't they? Really, but that's not a black tie wedding.
Yep, I absolutely agree. And I think there is a little misconception because, again, we see so many Pinterest boards and AI photos, and it shows, and I think black and white, absolutely elegant.
Classy.
Love it. I think it is a classic, and you don't have to have white flowers. You could be loaded with beautiful bright colors in the spring. You can do fall colors in the fall, and yes, you can do brown and black in your flowers and your arrangements and mix them together with the black and white attire. But saying formal and black tie is totally different.
Yes, it is.
And now, how do you feel about couples on their invitations giving a color scheme or a theme scheme? And when I say theme, I mean cowboy.
Okay, we'll go with it. We'll go with hideous. I feel that it's perfectly reasonable to give a dress code. I'm not sure how I feel about telling people what colour they've got to wear. purely on the basis of whether people wish to afford to buy something new for, now obviously immediate family, close members, really, really good friends probably will suck up that cost and go and buy something, but just guests, I'm not sure how I feel about insisting that they're going to have a specific colour that they may never wear again, because that's almost verging on the bridesmaid kind of concept where these poor bridesmaids are expected to buy a bridesmaid dress which they will never wear again. So I think that dress code is perfectly reasonable. So when my daughter got married, very traditional in England, that we wear hats to weddings. I know you Americans think that's odd, but we do.
I love it.
I love it too. So when my daughter got married, she actually put on her invitations, ladies, please wear hats. And they all conformed and they all wore a little hat and it was beautiful. But I just think that couples expecting their guests to go and buy a ball gown is a bit much. But certainly dress code, I think, is perfectly reasonable. For example, I mean, in the summer, wouldn't you want to maybe say, ladies, please wear bright floral sundresses?
Right.
Which is cute, isn't it, really?
So I love the sundresses.
I do.
And I've had
So long
brides.
as people look in the mirror before they put them on.
Well,
Just saying.
that's true. That's true,
saying.
but I do love the ruffled ones for
Yeah.
especially for bridesmaids. I'll have the mixed match, full
I love it.
length, spring, summer dress. Love the look.
I do too.
love the look. And I find that they find dresses that fit their body and make them look and feel great, which when they look and feel great, makes bride look and feel great
Yes,
too.
definitely.
So I love themes too. I think themes are fun. So if it's going to be country, even if they want to do cowboy hats and cowboy boots to the wedding.
And I think that's fine if everybody is doing that.
Right, I think that's fun.
I think that if you say to everybody, it is on a farm and it's cowboys and we're all sitting on hay bales and everybody dress appropriately, then that's absolutely fine if that's your theme.
Right.
But I just feel that sometimes people need a dress code because they think that they could just put their clean white shirt on and come along anyway.
Right.
And
like just denim and a flannel shirt.
no.
It's like take a little bit more effort because they are inviting you to. I mean, a wedding is a more formal event, and even if it's a casual wedding, like take it a step up. You can just wear khakis; it's totally fine. Cowboy boots, I love cowboy boots, but when it comes to looking like you just came off of a farm, probably not. But if it's a theme, I think it's super cute.
Yes, I agree. If everybody is going to be dressed in that theme, then that's absolutely fine. But I do also think that if somebody tells you it's a black tie wedding, that you need to find out what that actually is,
Right.
and dress appropriately,
Right.
or decline the invitation.
Because if it says black tie, definitely it needs to be a full-length gown. It needs to be a tux. It needs to be a black and white tux. Let's not do a lot of colors. Black and white. Black and white.
And also, I think people need to understand what the difference is between a black tie and a formal wedding,
Right.
and what are the differences between a formal wedding and a semi-formal wedding,
Yep.
and then
Well, let's talk about that.
a
So what would you
semi-formal wedding to
consider
a
formal wedding to semi-formal.
So a formal wedding that is not black tie would still be, I feel, after 5 o'clock in the evening, and then you will expect your women guests to wear full length.
Yep.
Semi-formal is tea-length dresses.
Yep, or cocktail dresses. I think I love it. I think you could do a cocktail dress.
I'm not so sure about that.
It needs to be in the semi-formal.
Yeah,
not
I feel like
informal.
cocktail dresses I think sometimes converge on more formal, can't they? And they also feel that cocktail dresses are one of those really risky things to wear because you do need to look in the mirror before you put
Right,
them on.
right.
There are some cocktail dresses that are not wedding appropriate.
But I think it's more for you is the modesty of it. Because I have some
Yeah, but
great
it's
cocktail
not- it's
dresses that are
classy.
not necessarily revealing.
So it's not about it's not even modesty, it's about being classy, because I think a formal wedding should be relatively classy.
Right.
And so I guess modesty and class sort of go a little bit together, don't they? Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, I don't know. But my favourite type of wedding is, particularly for our venue, semi-formal, tea-length dresses, no jeans, because jeans are not semi-formal, And, you know, a button-down shirt, a tie is quite nice. Do you think that men should be wearing a tie in a semi-formal wedding? And maybe it's my generation, I don't know. But if it's a casual wedding, then you can wear what the heck you want, really.
But I still feel like in casual, it should be at least a khaki.
Yes, I agree. Unless it's a thing.
And I love denim. I love to dress up denim, put heels on with my denim. I love to dress denim. But that's, denim is not wedding.
No, it's
guest
not.
attire, in my opinion, unless it's a theme specific to that. Because I do see a lot of couples that wear the cowboy hats and the cowboy boots. And I think it's cute and I think it's adorable. If that's who they are and if that's who their family and friends are, I think it's totally appropriate to have that theme out there. And because not all jeans are dumpy. And there are some amazing leather hats and pretty amazing cowboy boots. So we're talking elevated, not dirty from the yard, like elevated country attire. I think in North Carolina, it's totally okay.
Providing that that's what the theme of the wedding is, and that it's stated on the invitations that it's a relaxed, you know, informal wedding. But if somebody says that it's a formal wedding, then it's a definite no.
It
but
definitely
the other
would
thing
have
I
to be
find,
casual, even for that type of thing.
But the other thing I find that I quite can't get my head around, and it's obviously a cultural thing, that the mothers often wear a formal gown and it's a semi-formal wedding. It doesn't work. It looks really weird. And again, at a barn venue, you don't want to wear a navy blue sequin full-length gown when everybody else is going to be in semi-formal tea-length dresses. I just think you need to sort of figure out what it's going to be. If it's black tie, obviously everybody is formal. And if it's a formal wedding where you're asking everybody to wear proper suits and full-length gowns, then that's fine. But otherwise, no, tea-length is perfectly good. But the other thing I don't love, and I guess this is just a personal choice, mothers wearing pants. Well, I do have an opinion about that.
Well, I probably do.
I wear pants. I mean, here I am, I'm wearing jeans, I wear pants all the time, but I just feel that...
At weddings, I wear pants.
But you're not the mom.
I'm not the mom, but where I am bending down, moving over.
And that's fine. I think
I try to make sure that my tops are appropriate, but I am more comfortable in a dress, and in my personal life, I will wear a dress 9 out of 10 times. I love a dress, but at work, because I am bending over, doing this, or or I'm on a ladder, I think that pants are a safer bet for me.
Yeah, but as a mother of the bride, you're not doing... As a mother,
I've seen some beautiful, beautiful suits. But actually, I'm trying to think of how many have I had this year. I don't know if I've even had
seen a few. Can't say I'm in love, not honestly. I mean, I've seen some really beautiful...
It would have to be very dressy.
Yes, very dressy. I've seen some beautiful pants that the younger girls can get away with wearing and look really elegant, but... Not so sure, particularly if it's a semi-formal. Not feeling it.
And I totally agree with the sequin versus tea-length dress, like getting the theme on board. But I find that they all plan what they're going to wear, but they're not necessarily thinking about what they want the whole environment to be.
Well, if
like, this is what I want it to look like, this is what we're dressing, but they're not signifying to their guests what they want that evening to be. And so what happens is that probably 85% of the weddings nowadays, you'll see someone with full-length dress, a T-length, and a polo and a pair of jeans.
And it's very simple to just put it on your invitations that it's formal, semi-formal. But I think that people then need to sort of do a little Google research. What is a semi-formal wedding? What is appropriate to wear for that? And that's just a guideline for people. But I really do think it needs to start at the very beginning. If you want to have a black tie wedding, you need to go to a hotel with chandeliers and a ballroom. You don't want to go to a barn. That's the truth. I love my barn. I think it's amazing. wedding, and we can do semi-formal there quite happily. But I just feel that
I think you could have a beautiful black tie event
you
at your bar.
think?
I do. I absolutely do.
in the evening.
And we're going to be doing it next
Okay.
year.
Oh, I'm excited. That'll be nice.
We've got a couple black tie events happening
Okay.
at the ECB
All right. So
next year.
I will eat my words next year and say
Okay.
we can totally do black
So
tie.
for my bride that's listening, we're going to surprise her. We're not even going to tell her which
oh,
one.
that would be nice.
I think you have a great setting to do. Just because you're saying it's in a barn, I mean you don't have dirt floors and
Well, no.
wide open doors. I mean you have real wood floors, beautiful pine doors. I think maybe for you, because it is in the country and you've got the sprawling landscape, you're thinking, oh, it might be too casual for that. I totally disagree.
Well, maybe the part I don't see necessarily is then the formal weddings, because I think you've got to really think about your decor and the time of day you're getting married and where you're having your ceremony. So, for example, the Enchanted Wood does not lend itself to having a formal wedding.
No, but Somerset does.
It does. I love Somerset Garden,
I think
and the
that-
chapel does too, for sure. But I do think that couples need to be telling people. It's a little bit like in the winter, isn't it? Really, if you're going to have an outdoor wedding at any venue, you need to put on your website, "Hey, by the way, wear a coat because
Yes.
you might get chilly."
And
Because
also, the guests should be looking at the weather, because this past weekend
It was
I
freezing.
was so tickled to see so much fur.
Yeah.
and I love it. I love it.
it was lovely. But again, I
think
mean,
they
people also
felt
need to
so much more
think to
dressed.
themselves: do they want to wear stiletto heels, which you can wear to a ballroom in a hotel, or are they going to wear something a little bit more sensible? Do they need Wellington boots? Because I mean, some venues genuinely are on a farm with no concrete, and if you're on grass and it's been raining the day before, then you might want to think about that. So it's quite important to put that information on your website when you do your invitations, or on your invitation suite, to tell people it's an outdoor wedding, bring coat. It's an outdoor wedding, wear sunscreen in the summer. It's an outdoor wedding, put bug spray on. Appropriate shoes is so important. I mean, I wear wedges. I'm sure I wear wedges all the time because I can't wear heels around there, but I don't like flat shoes. So, and I trip around my venue quite happily in my wedges, but I wouldn't want to wear stilettos there.
No, it's too much. No, you could at the pavilion because you're all on concrete.
Yes, you could.
But the other locations, you would have to go through lawn area. So yes. Well, I'm very tickled to see 2026 lending itself to more formal attires. I think it's fun. And 2021, 22, into early 23 was so rustic that I longed to see people dress up for a wedding again.
Do you
and
think
I don't think it has to be a floor-length gown. I love the semi-formal. I love tea-length dress.
I love a tea-length dress. They're my favorite.
I mean, I think, and I love beautiful cocktail dresses, but I don't think it has to be a floor-length gown. But I just enjoy seeing people dress again for a wedding, and it not be so rustic. That was painful, 2.5 years of that.
That and burlap, right?
I was like, oh, please let this era
Do you think that people are just maybe going more formal because weddings are getting a little smaller? So do you think that has something to do with it? That the way weddings are now being planned and designed and dreamt of has sort of done a little bit of a change, and instead of inviting 300 of your favourite friends to have a hoedown in the barn, that we've changed.
Like where it had become, I think it's an era. Just like how barns became so popular and rustic weddings were so popular. Then they started bringing in all this gold into the rustic barns, and then it started kind of going back to more of a traditional style wedding. And I think now we're just seeing it transition, going a little further back into more formal. Do I think it's going to be that 5 years from now? No. But if we have a good 3-year run on some beautiful tuxes and evening gowns and fur, I'm all for it. at us.
Yeah, for sure. I like the fact that when it's a smaller wedding, those people that RSVP, yes, are so intentional. They're there to celebrate you. They're not just there for dinner and going to clear off. They absolutely, they want to be there. And I'm loving the smaller wedding vibe. I'm loving the creativity that you can do with a smaller wedding, because there's obviously, you're not paying for 200 plates of food.
Well, they have a larger budget.
Of course.
So if they're wanting a photo booth and a live artist and this, and they have it. Because exactly, if they're not paying 200 per head, and we're not talking about just their dinner, we're also talking about the bar tab. We're also talking about their $9 piece of cake, and for every 8 people, the guest table that they're sitting at. All of that money can go back into the couple's day if they're in half at 100 or even more. Down.
We've seen a lot. Yeah, we've seen a lot more weddings recently, particularly tours for next year. People are saying between 60 and 80 guests.
Yeah.
And no bridal party, which is another podcast we'll talk about. But what we're seeing is that, people are beginning to realize they don't have to invite 200 to fill a space for the sake of it.
Right.
And we're really enjoying it. And I'm pretty confident that our couples are really enjoying the intentional celebration, because those people are filling it. We had a wedding a few weeks ago, and I was out walking the dogs 300 acres away, and they had 30 guests, and the cheer that went up at the end of that ceremony was louder than I heard for 200 guests a week before.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely there. They filled the dance floor all night. They celebrated the couple. And I mean, it blew me away how much fun they could have with 30 guests.
Well, this fall, a lot of the weddings have ended up having a smaller RSVP. And every single one of those weddings has been a party.
Yes, that's
all
what we're
the guests on the dance floor, everybody cheering and then laughing. And I mean, the engaging that is happening between the couple and getting to go, and then they have time to go around to every table, talk to everybody. I mean, it's like so refreshing. I feel like they are connecting with their guests, and it's truly an experience. Because when you get 200 people in a room, it's a lot of noise. It's a lot. I mean, it's tight.
It's just a lot.
It's just a couple just doesn't get that guest interaction. That I think is the whole reason you're inviting your guests.
Yes, definitely. And I like the fact that, even in the larger venues that can accommodate 200 people, you can get so creative in how to decorate and stage it so it doesn't feel cavernous. I mean, so something that we find is that couples will walk into the venue and say, oh, wow, it's quite big. And say, well, it's actually only set for 60 people today, and it feels full and it feels great. And you can just get creative and do different things. And I mean, as I say, we've done a few smaller weddings recently, and I think it looks outstanding. So.
Yeah, I think so too. And see, that's also fun too for somebody in decor and flowers, because like when you're with the challenge going, okay, we've got to cut 4 tables, what can I do to be different or make it exciting or fill that space? It challenges us for fun stuff too.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Yeah. But I do love smaller weddings. If I have a preference, I would say just a couple for ceremony, or best man, maid, matron of honor. Cutting down the wedding party and cutting down the guest list. Like if you want this big, beautiful bouquet and a train that's 10 foot long, you can afford it if you're at 60, 75 people.
Yes.
Or even 50 people, whatever. You can take that money and invest in your day and your memories that you're going to have 25, 30 years from now, because you're not going to remember every guest.
No, I mean, when Ian and I got married all those years ago, we had 44 guests, and I can honestly tell you it was a perfect day. We were able to talk to everybody, we were able to celebrate with everybody. They were all there for us, and in fact we left before they all did, which was marvellous. I know, exactly. I'm done, bye. But if you have 200 or more guests, you do not have time. And nowadays, nobody does a receiving line, so you can't even wink at them and say, hi, good to see you. Right. So you don't get that time with them. And I think especially, I mean, there we were talking about formal and black tie weddings. If they've paid all that money to buy a ball gown, and then you don't even have 2 minutes to say hi to them, that kind of is a bit sad, isn't it, really?
Exactly.
I think that,
And it could be a circle. It could just be a time that we're getting into a more formal look. And like I said, I don't think it'll be 5 years.
do you think it's,
down the
I mean,
road.
partly Pinterest, that we've all got tired of the rustic burlap. And so people started thinking, what can I do that's a little different?
They started adding gold to make rustic more elegant. Then we went back into that, traditional. And I think we're just now on our glamour stage.
Yes.
And like I said, I'm excited to be in the glamour stage.
It's a good job we call ourselves country chic at the venue, isn't it, really?
Yes.
That we're not just rustic, boring burlap.
Now, you're not, no, I've seen rustic venues. Yours is not, and it is going to be beautiful for some black tie events.
I am
next year.
excited. Yeah.
And I mean, anybody that knows me or comes in and sees my style, they should know I'm going to be all about it.
I'm going to have to ditch my jeans for the day.
Yep, no jeans. Yep, remember that, guys. No jeans. I think we're going to end it there. We've talked about formal, semi-formal, casual, what to wear, what not to wear, what to expect. And couples, if you're asking for that, make sure you're giving them the experience you're asking them to buy attire for. So,
Yes, no buffet.
no buffet. And I don't want a table at cocktail hour. Pass those appetizers.
Yes, pass them.
So that's what you have a planner for. They'll help you and guide you in the right time of day and what you need. But until then, like, share, and follow.